Hey, I'm Isabel Bercaw, and when I was 12 years old, I founded a multi-million-dollar bath and body products company called the Bomb Bath. After 5 years of building my own brand, I've discovered a passion for helping young and innovative entrepreneurs tell their stories. Hopefully, you'll be inspired by the guests here on Build-A-Biz and maybe even motivated to start a business of your own. Let's get into it.
This is Build-A-Biz with Isabel Bercaw.
Okay, hi everybody, welcome back to Build-A-Biz. I'm your host, Isabel Bercaw, and today I'm here with Sebastian, the 13-year-old CEO of Are You Kidding Socks, and his brother Brandon, who is the director of sales at only 15 years old. Boys, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Well, thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, of course. So you both decided that you wanted to be in charge of this sock business. How did this all come about?
Well, it was all when I was just about 5 years old. I had a huge passion for socks. Like, I used to love wearing cool, funky, and just overall high socks. And my mom found that I had this passion for socks. So she was like, hey, why don't we just start our own sock company? And I got that passion and turned it into a business.
And I came into the business because when we first started selling, my brother was a bit shy. You know, he didn't really know how to talk to people. He was like 6 at the time. And at the time I was 8, so my mom called up my dad because I was with him at the time. He said, hey, why don't you bring Brandon over? He likes to talk to people. And that's what I did. I went over, I talked, I sold, and I became the director of sales.
That's so cool. I have to say I've seen parallels in your story with my sister's story. And so you may or may not know, but we started our very first we started our business, and our very first gig, you could say, was at an art fair. And Caroline was super shy. She's my little sister by 16 months, so we're a little bit closer in age, but she was still a little bit more shy than me. And I had to kind of let our teacher how to kind of come out of her shell a little bit. But then once she got the hang of it, she realized that she actually really liked it. But still to this day, she kind of does more behind the scenes work. And I would say I do more of the trade shows and selling and stuff like that. So I love to see that you guys both have that dynamic too, because for us personally, it works really well. What is it like working as brothers? Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, it's all right. You know, it's cool. Get to work with your brother, get to bond a little bit. And, you know, we do have competitions and stuff who could make the better design, who could sell more socks. But, you know, it does help the company because, you know, we're trying to do our best here and do the best thing for the company. And working with your brother, it's cool because you get to work with your family.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I personally love working with my family because you brought up a really good point, which is when you're working with your family, in most cases, at least I would say, your family is going to be some people who, you know, they have your back. They want you to succeed, as opposed to maybe a business partner might I mean, not always, but maybe they might do something that you don't agree with, and they kind of have their own interest at heart. But you know that your family always wants you to succeed as much as they want themselves to succeed. And I feel like that's something really special.
Yeah, because working with business partners, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you don't have that same connection as you do with your family because, you know, first of all, you're living with them. So, you know, you have 24/7 connection. And with partners or business partners, they might not know you as well as you think they do. Say they don't know that I love socks. Say I love race cars, and they're like, I don't really want to build or want to design a race car sock. But my family will obviously know that, and we will design a race car sock.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that's an aspect of business that people don't always think about at first. And the aspect, just to put it a little bit more simply, would just be that, you know your product best because you're the person who is inventing it. And your family is probably the closest people to you that can understand that. You know, for example, my little brother, he really liked bath bombs. We were like, oh, there's no way boys like bath bombs, but he convinced us that we had to make a Ninja Bomb. And today the Ninja Bomb is still one of our best sellers because instead of looking at other people, what do I think they want? You have to first decide what you want yourself maybe, and then realize that there's a niche for that in the market and that other people might like that too. You know, other race car lovers might love a pair of race car socks.
Yeah. So we both love the race cars too. You know, cars are nice and cool, so we made our own car sock.
Yeah, that's awesome. What are some other designs that are your favorite designs?
Well, we have a bunch of socks. Like we have it here. Yes, we do. So one of our charity socks that we made, the Autism Speaks socks, because I like it. It's just like it really like goes with Autism Speaks because they have the puzzle. That's like what they do. Like they have the puzzle as a logo, and so many like funky colors we put there. And it looks just really nice.
Yeah, for sure. So for the audience, you kind of described this, but so why did you create that design for that sock?
Well, we partner up with a bunch of like charities, and we do like the same thing for all of them. We try to implement their logo and what they do into the sock. So for Autism Speaks, it's obviously the puzzle pieces they have as their logo, so we put the puzzles. For another one, we have Stand Up to Cancer. They have the arrows, and for some of the socks, we even have like people who are part of the charity, work for them, even people who are impacted by them, make the socks for us. So for Stand Up to Cancer, we had a girl named Poppy. She made the sock for us, and we even had their signature. So most of them, they write their name, but she was like, my name's Poppy. Poppy's a flower, and she put a poppy flower at the bottom of the sock as her signature.
That is so cool. It's like it has a little piece of the person who you're designing the sock for or with. Inside of the design, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And I love hearing that story too, because I feel like I would look at that sock and say, oh, that's a sick looking sock. I want to buy it. But then once you look a little deeper, you realize there's like a double meaning, which is cool.
There's a lot more to the sock than see.
And this is my favorite sock. It's the Googly Eyes one.
Ooh, that's nice.
Like rainbow color.
So, for the audience who can't see that, since this is radio, I'll just describe what I'm seeing from somebody who doesn't really know much about socks, but I'm going to try to make this really simple. It starts at like the top of the sock. There's red and yellow and more red and blue and green, and there's lots of like striped colors. And within the stripes, there are little googly eyes. So it looks like there's little like monsters or something peeking out from your ankles. So it's super cute.
Yeah, I like this one because like it's just like super funny and it stands out a lot. You don't walk up to like just like say Publix and you don't see someone wearing googly eyes. And I really like this because like, it's like staring, but and plus it has different colors because if it just had like red or yellow, it wouldn't be my favorite or like stand out as much. But since it has different colors, I like it a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome. And also something that Brandon mentioned, which was, he tries to, or I think you both try to incorporate like a design that kind of goes with the cause if you're doing a sock for a cause. And that just kind of reminds me of something that I saw when I was stalking you both on Instagram. Funny story. I saw that you guys donated like 5,000 pairs of socks to, or over 5,000 pairs of socks to Texas when they were having, I think they're still dealing with the aftermath of that freeze over, but that was really cool. Can you guys talk to me a little bit about like some of the charities that you've worked with and some of them that are like, that really stand out to you?
Yeah, so we have a lot of charities that we work with. First of all, we have Stand Up to Cancer, Autism Speaks, we have breast cancer. We have JDRF, which is for type 1 diabetes. We have Make-A-Wish Foundation. We don't have any more charity socks here, but we do a lot more.
And you can check them at allyoukittingsocks.com. Shameless plug.
Hey, we love shameless plugs here on Build-A-Biz. Do you guys, what motivated you to want to do something with charities when you were starting up the business? Was that something that you always knew that you wanted to include in your business plan, a charitable aspect, or could you tell me a little bit about how that came up?
Well, when we were younger, we just focused on like our own designs and our own company. But then when our mom told us about, I think it was breast cancer first.
Yeah.
She told us about cancer, and we were like shocked about like disease we haven't heard about because we were like 9 at the time. I was 9, he was 7. We didn't know anything about it. And she told us about it, and we're like, wow. But then she was like, hey, we could do something to help stop it. I was like, what can we do? And it's like, we can raise funds and awareness by making socks for them. So that's what we did. And we didn't just stop there. We made socks for a bunch of other charities. And because we were trying to do the most to make like more funds, more awareness, and try to find, a cure for these things.
That's awesome. And it's really cool to see young people like yourselves caring about something like that. And, I feel like it's easy to kind of get wrapped up in your own little world when you're young, especially with social media these days. And I feel like when you own a business at a young age, it's something that you see that a lot of people maybe see later in life, which is, you kind of bring like an empathetic aspect to a business that not every adult can or will bring to a business. Because I feel like children are a little more, clearly now you're both teenagers, but when you were starting the business, I feel like children are a little more like impressionable, maybe a little more like empathetic with the problems that are going on in the world. And it's just really cool to see that you both kind of broke that barrier sooner than most people would in life, and that you took that step and that you really want to make a real change in the world, which is super cool.
Yeah, as you said about like children being more impressionable, that is because like you don't want to hear it from like an adult just like, yeah, and that's why you should donate because of this. But like when children do it, they have like this sudden spark, they throw hands around, or like, expressions, not hands. And they're just funny. And then you tell them why you should donate, and they understand it. They are entertained, and they might even buy a pair of socks, which will go towards a charity.
Yeah, cool. And something cool too is like you kind of mentioned like the spark. I feel like that's important because I feel like that's another thing that young people can do maybe a little bit easier than adults, which is really like connect with people on a different level, and kind of because kids, they're constantly learning. So they're learning how to communicate with different people, and they're curious about, learning about you as a person. And then that makes them really easy to talk to. And it probably makes you both great salespeople, which is awesome.
Yeah. It's easier to like sell socks to like a kid than it would like an adult to a kid. Because when like an adult is talking to a kid, it's like, okay, like you know everything. But like if you're like talking to the kids, like, okay, I get where you're coming from, And it's easier. Selling to an adult, it's hard, but like we still make it work because, when we show them that we're serious and we really want to do this, they're like, I'm interested, Yeah,
no, I totally noticed that. And I'll even notice, I'll go to, I don't know if you've ever been to or like heard of these like giant trade shows where, because our business does a lot of wholesale. So we'll go to these trade shows to sell to these stores, or like accounts is what we call them in fancy terms. You guys probably know all about this, but just for the people listening who don't know all about it. And there'll be these giant buildings just full of vendors who are selling their products to be sold in different stores. And sometimes there'll be adults coming up and they'll say, oh, where's your dad? Or where's your mom? And I'm like, I am one of the co-founders. Like, you can talk to me and I will sell you all the bath bombs you want because I know all the information. And, at first, sometimes people we kind of get mixed reactions. I'm sure you guys know. There'll be people who are like, this is super cool. Like, they'll just be nothing but support. And then there's the skeptics. But by the end of the conversation, I feel like, at least in my case, and you guys sound like you have the same experience, will kind of change their minds and make them realize that kids can do cool things too. Yeah.
So we've basically done that like with a bunch of adults when we're selling at events, speaking, because we changed their mind. You're like, wow, kids really can do this. It's not something just for adults. Kids can, do the same thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Speaking of kids, there's a lot of talk about kids. How do the other kids in your grade feel about the fact that you guys are basically running a business?
Well, they're super supportive. And even while I'm in class, they're like, yo, can you give me this pair of sock by tomorrow? I'll give you the money right now. And it makes me feel like it's kind of funny because like, it's so random. But then I'm like, oh, wow. These kids really care and like want the pair of socks. And then the next day I'll give it to them and they'll like put it on or after school. And I'm like, wow, thank you.
Yeah,
that feels good to see that.
I remember like being in school, just like waiting in the lunch line. And a kid would like come up to me like, hey, can I get some socks? And he'll buy the socks. I'm like, sell the socks right there in the lunch line. I have some friends that are very supportive. And we even have our like two friends, Brian and Steven. They do a lot for us, They come to events for us. They sell for us. We even have like competitions. Like we do 2v2s, like which group could sell the most. They help us with videos. They help us with everything, basically.
That's so fun. Shout out to, what are their names, sorry?
Brian and Steven.
Shout out to Brian and Steven.
They even have like their own charity. So they do their own charity work. They're amazing people.
That's so fun. And I feel like that's something cool too. Just that it kind of has to do with like the whole like friends aspect is I feel like personally being a young entrepreneur, I've met so many of my friends who can relate to me because they're also young entrepreneurs. And I feel like it's super fun to connect with that community of people. So it's great to connect with you both.
Yeah.
It is.
All right, everybody, the time for a music break has come, but when we return, we will continue to hear the rest of Brandon and Sebastian's entrepreneurial story. Welcome back from the music break, everybody. I am here with Brandon and Sebastian, the teen founders behind Are You Kidding Socks? And we were just talking about our favorite parts of business. So I said that my favorite part of owning my own business was probably getting to connect with lots of different types of people and make lots of friends in the industry.
So that's what I enjoy most about the business aspect of things are the connections. What do you think that you both enjoy most about owning a business and running a business?
Probably the opportunities we get to have, like this. We're on a podcast today because of our business. We get to fly to places because of our business. We get to go to events. We get to do a bunch of things because of our business. So I think the opportunities we get is something I enjoy the most. And giving back, especially because we get to put smiles on people's faces. We get to help and give back to our community. And it means a lot to us that we get to help these people.
Yeah, and you also get to work with your family. Like, not many people get to do that. Even if they do have their own company, I'm not saying that the parents won't be as supportive, but our parents are super supportive with us, and we love it because without them, we wouldn't even have a stock company.
So true. And I love I love working with my family. I don't know if all families can say the same, but it's really important to have some kind of support system, whether it's your friends, like Brandon mentioned, or, your family, like Sebastian mentioned. I noticed on your Instagram, speaking of like cool opportunities, Brandon, you were talking about these. You guys got to go to the Kid Choice Awards in 2019?
Yeah, that was really cool. We were flown out to California. We get to meet other kid entrepreneurs, other kids doing big things. It was a really cool experience too. We got to watch the Teen Choice Awards as well. It was fun.
Yeah, we also met super cool people like have you ever seen the show Blackish?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, I don't know her name, but the sister, like the younger one.
Yeah, you got to meet her.
Choice Awards. It was like she was so nice to us, and we gave her pair of socks and we took a picture. We met. Have you seen Riverdale?
I think my sister has.
Yeah, the person with the red hair.
Oh, I've seen pictures of him. Actually,
Yeah.
the reason I know this is because I have a bunny rabbit, and his name is Archie. And people will say, "Oh, did you name him after the Riverdale character?" So I had to go Google and see who that was. So I actually do know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you have a bunny rabbit, or a pet rabbit. I was like,
Yeah, I know his name is Archie. He's seriously the funnest little bunny ever, and I'm obsessed with him.
Over here we have a dog named
yeah, we have
Juno.
a dog named Juno.
Oh, I wish I could have a dog. I'm so allergic. I saw a golden retriever on your Instagram page wearing socks, and I almost cried because it was so cute.
Oh, that dog. I remember. We took photos of the dog. It was actually a cancer survivor.
Oh,
We do a bunch of things for cancer survivors.
yeah.
And not just humans too, pets. That dog was a cancer survivor. So
Oh, good for him.
always with him with the socks, gave him a treat,
Aw.
have some fun.
That's so adorable. Speaking of Instagram, I have to ask you both, who has the sweet tooth here? Because I see desserts everywhere on your Instagram page, and I'm obsessed.
Oh, I remember. We have a bunch of photos of the salty donut. We went over there and we made a video with them. They have probably the best donuts in Miami.
Yeah.
Probably in the whole world. They have like really good donuts.
But the person that has the sweet tooth is probably, I'm going to say me, because I love just like trying new types of sweets. I love Sour Patch, Skittles. I love all types of candy. Name one and I'll love it, except for Twizzlers. I don't really like Twizzlers.
Yeah, I think Twizzlers are just a little bit controversial. I know some people really love them and some don't love them so much. But I would have to agree with you that Sour Patch Kids are probably the best candy ever invented.
I love the watermelon flavor. That's the best one for me.
Or have you tried strawberry? You got to try strawberry.
Strawberry?
They have them at the store.
No, for me, my probably favorite candy has to be Swedish Fish.
Yeah,
I just like them so much.
that's awesome. So it kind of sounds like part of the reason that, you love your jobs is we've covered the charity aspect, the getting to work with donut companies aspect, the getting to work with your family aspect. Is there any other aspects of what makes doing this all worth it that you'd like to talk about?
Well, when you go to charities and events, when you go to events and you just get to sell sock after sock, like when you go like 5 for a row, that's just makes me feel like I could do anything right now. Like I could go up to this group of people and sell them 10 pairs of socks, and it just makes me feel like I'm proud of myself for selling a lot of pairs of socks. So I guess that's another key element for loving to be in the business.
Yeah, when you go on those streaks, it's like, wow, I'm selling so good right now.
That's awesome. And that's a really great feeling, because I too have a tangible product that I can sell to people. And having a good selling day, it's not even about the money. And I think you both kind of like alluded to this, but it's not even about the money. It's just the fact that you were able to like succeed in doing a sale, and doing that transaction.
It makes you feel like a winner too.
Yeah, for sure. And it kind of makes you feel like even if what you want to do next in life, like, isn't business related, like say you want to be, I kind of personally feel like everything is business related, but let's say you want to be like a brain surgeon. I don't know. That confidence is really important. And I feel like anyone who has any kind of entrepreneurial experience can take that confidence with them and go forward in life and, take what they learned from being an entrepreneur and apply that to what they're going to do in the future. So what do you both want to do in the future? Do you think you're going to be in the business forever, or what are your plans?
Well, what I want to do in the future is I want to be in the NBA, because I've always wanted to be in the NBA from the start. But Dwayne Wade also has his sock and shoe company, like his own company, and he was a great NBA player. So I want to be like Dwayne Wade. I still want to have my sock company still running, and I want to play in the NBA.
I will look for you in the NBA.
Well, same thing here. I want to be like Dwayne Wade. Want to be like one of the best Heat players there. I want to be on the Heat. I like the Heat, and have my own company, expand upon it as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's very big. So I just want to have like a huge company.
I love that.
What do you want to be in the future?
What do I want to be in the future? I'm getting asked a question. This is so exciting. I'm working on this radio show, so that's super exciting. But I think in the future, I don't know. Maybe we should let's all manifest together that I get to host the Teen Choice Awards someday. I'll see you both there. You guys are probably going to win. So then what do you think? Is there anything new you can tell me about in your company that you'd like to promote? I think that, there's so many designs you can do with socks, and, we're always coming out with new bath bombs, so people still get just as excited. But is there anything like new that you can tell me about that's coming out?
Well, we came out with shirts.
These shirts.
No way! Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to describe them to the listeners. They're super classy. They're black, and they got the Are You Kidding logo on it. And so everybody go to, is it the same as your Instagram?
AreYouKiddingSocks.com.
Our Instagram is AYK Socks? Yes, AYK Socks.
Yes. Okay. So their Instagram is AYK Socks. Everyone should go follow it. And AreYouKiddingSocks.com website, and pick up a t-shirt because they're super sick. Boys, thank you so much for being on my show today. I really appreciated talking with you, and you guys are killing it, and I'll see you both in the NBA soon.
Thank you for inviting us.
Okay, thank you so much to everybody who listened to Build-A-Biz today. If you missed the beginning of Brandon and Sebastian's episode, or maybe you want to listen to it again, or just check out some other episodes that I've hosted in the past, go to the Build-A-Bear YouTube channel, where you'll find a Build-A-Bear radio playlist, and that's where you can find all the recordings that I've done. So once again, my name is Isabel Bercaw. You can follow me on Instagram. It is isabel.bercaw, and definitely check out Build-A-Bear radio on Instagram too, and I will hopefully see you next Saturday. Thanks. Bye.